She said it with a straight face. You need to apologize to him or we're done. We were standing outside that bar under the cheap glow of neon and the weight of something breaking. Her eyes didn't flinch. Mine didn't blink. Then she added it. The knife. He was here before you and he's more important than you. I didn't yell. Didn't argue. Just nodded as if I'd finally understood something too long in the shadows. Then I turned, got in my car, and drove away. Quiet, controlled. She didn't chase me. That told me everything. We were 2 years in, laughter, Sunday mornings, shared playlists, plans that reached too far into the future. I knew about her past, her pain, her tells. I loved her like a man does when he's all in, no armor, no doubts. And then there was him, the best friend, the one who lingered just a little too long, laughed a little too loud at things that weren't funny. I watched him watch her like a man who was waiting. She swore it was innocent. I chose to believe her. That was my mistake, because that night he picked a fight with me out of nowhere. Loud, public, petty. I kept my cool, but she didn't side with reason. She sided with him. And when she looked me dead in the eyes and gave that ultimatum, I knew she'd already made her choice. It wasn't heartbreak. Not exactly. It was insult, humiliation, that twisted kind of betrayal that doesn't come from a stranger. It comes from the one who knew where you're soft and went straight for it. I let 3 days pass. Long enough for silence to settle into her bones. Long enough for the panic to bloom behind her pride. She showed up at my door crying. Of course. Too late. I'd already begun. Revenge isn't rage. It's patience. It's precision. It's knowing what someone values and pulling the thread. She was ambitious, polished, the type who curated her image like a museum piece. She prided herself on loyalty, integrity, emotional maturity. That was her currency. So I set out to bankrupt her without ever raising my voice. First, I gathered everything, screenshots, messages, photos. Not from her, but from him, because he was the kind of man who bragged when he thought he'd won. Turns out their boundaries had always been paper-thin. Late-night confessions, drunk cuddles, almosts, they never admitted to. Emotional cheating dressed in nostalgia. I archived everything. Then I waited. She worked for a firm that valued culture fit as much as skill. A place where perception was reality. So I made sure the right person saw the right message at the right time. Not anonymously. No, that's cowardice. I attached my name. A single email. Calm. Respectful. Thought you should be aware of the ethical concerns surrounding your associate. Attached a PDF. She didn't get fired. She got reassigned, demoted quietly. Stripped of the high-profile cases. Whispered about, smiled at with pity. She never saw it coming. And him? I made sure his girlfriend got the same file. She dumped him publicly at a dinner party. I wasn't there, but I heard it was messy. I never blocked her. Let her texts pile up. Then one night, I answered. Told her to come over. She showed up. Mascara smudged. Apology rehearsed. I let her in. Let her speak. And when she finally broke down, knees to the floor, voice shaking, I looked at her the way she had once looked at me. You made your choice, I said. You just didn't think I'd have the strength to walk away. She tried to blame him. Said it wasn't like that, said she panicked. I let her finish. Then I handed her a manila envelope. She opened it, saw the printouts, the email, the proof. Her face went pale. You did this, she whispered. I nodded. You needed to know what it feels like to lose something quietly, to be undone without a scene. Tears came fast then. But tears don't move me anymore. There's something poetic about revenge done clean. No shouting, no slamming doors, just consequences tied to choices. Delivered in silence. She left my apartment that night like a ghost, and I went back to my couch, put on the playlist we once made, skipped every song that had her fingerprint on it. People say forgiveness is strength. I disagree. Control is strength. Choosing when to speak, when to strike, when to let someone burn by the fire they lit themselves. She told me he was more important. She said I needed to apologize, but I don't kneel for betrayal. I stand over it, and when they fall, I watch.